So, how much does it cost to be a real estate agent? And what's the cost of getting licensed? It's a lot. The end. Just kidding. Okay, I'm gonna go into this. There are a lot of costs to become a real estate agent. A lot of people think that because the barrier is so low to become a real estate agent that it must be very cheap, that it's, super easy to get into, which I mean, it kind of is, especially when you compare it to other professions such as being a dentist, being a doctor, being a lawyer, where you have a ton of schooling. I mean, decades, years of schooling, and way more in student loans than if you were to become a real estate agent. However, it costs a lot to even just hold your real estate license. Overall, I think you're going to be surprised at how much it does cost to become and stay a licensed real estate agent. Let's start with schooling. You need to go to school. You need to go to some pre-approved real estate school. You can find one either online, you can find one in person, you can do a hybrid. I prefer online because that's kind of how your business is going to be anyway. I think I also prefer that because I started off as a part-time agent. So I wasn't able to just leave work and go to 9 to 5 school. And there were options to do it in the evening and on weekends as well, but I would have rather just done it on my own time, especially since when I first got started, I was still active duty Air Force. So I wasn't able to just take weekends off because I was traveling with the military still. So I prefer online. You can go on the ceshop.com. You can just Google real estate school in my city and find out the prices there. But I've done some of that research for you already. So here we go. This is an example of what a real estate school, a local one to you, will cost. This one specifically is they do in person and they do online as well. The price is, I think, pretty much the same for either one, but you'll find that the more local ones are typically more expensive. But overall, you're going to be seeing a wide variety, but generally speaking, around $600 to $1,000. I would be very surprised if you saw a course that's over $1,500. They must be giving you a lot of other stuff. So keep in mind what you're buying. Make sure that you're just probably getting the basic course if in case that's what you want. If you need the extra exam prep and the extra flashcards and the extra, whatever that business is doing to make more money, then sure, go ahead and do that if you feel like that's what you need. Otherwise, if you see on the CE shop, you'll see there that their prices are actually a little bit more better. So typically you can just click on the map there, theceshop.com, click on the state of what you're getting licensed in, and you'll see the amounts there. They have different packages. So of course, like the basic, the standard, et cetera, you get more and more. I would probably go with the standard package because they have that pass guarantee. Granted, I have not used the CE shop to get my license. I used a local one. So I cannot recommend it because I have been in it myself. I have heard from other agents that they liked it. So I'm just carrying on that good news. But you'll see overall it's going to cost about $700-ish, roughly, maybe even $1,000 just to take the schooling. Also, fun fact, if you're military, you'll get 40% off if you go with the CE shop. Just click on that military button at the very, very bottom of the page, get your discount code that way. So being conservative and being just generally speaking, let's just say real estate school costs $900. Now that's just the school. Then you'll take the school test. As soon as you take that school test, then you have proof to take the actual state test. So the state test costs even more money. That's roughly about $75. Reach out to your school. They'll be the ones to tell you how exactly to schedule your state test, your national test, but pretty much that's $75. Just take the state exam. If you fail, guess what happens? You have to take it again, obviously, until you pass, but you also have to pay, therefore, another $75. It could be 60, it could be 90, but generally speaking, $75 to take the state exam. Then, once you pass that state exam, you're going to be paying to get your actual license. That's about $250 there. So say you get the school done, you take the test and you pass it in your first try, you get your license. Now we're all in at $1,225-ish, right, for this example. Then you are a licensed agent. However, I was about to say realtor, but you're not a realtor, and I'll explain why in a second. So then you're a licensed agent, right? So at that point, you need to join an association. You need to join a board. So in case you don't know which MLS you'll be joining, reach out to me. I can help you, especially if you plan on joining our crew. I'm here to help you. So reach out to me, book a call. But essentially, you can also just Google. You can Google, Cincinnati MLS boards. There might be a lot of different associations, so you want to make sure that you're choosing the right one. Again, I'm here to help you with that. This is an example of how much I just paid for my 2024 license. It's roughly going to increase, about $10, $15-ish every single year. So keep that in mind. But I just paid for my 2024 association fees, and that costs $606 for the entire year. Most likely, your MLS will also do this where they will add at the very bottom additional contributions like 55, 60 bucks for you to donate to their charities. I always just click zero. I edit it, I click zero because I donate on my own. So I personally think that it's kind of annoying that it's pre-filled out to 55 bucks, 60 bucks of my money that I don't even know which charity it is. I don't want to do the research. I know who I donate with, and I'd rather just do it myself. So otherwise this would cost me 660 bucks, but 606 for 2024. And you can see the breakdown here of what associations those are going toward. It's going to be the same thing in your city and your state for your MLS. So tallying all that up, now we're up to 1831. What the association does is that's how you're able to then become a realtor. Remember in the beginning where I was like, great, you got your license, now you're just an agent. But typically, depending on what brokerage you want to join, a brokerage will likely require that you be a realtor, meaning a higher level of ethical standard and therefore more money. So the next fee, again, you can't even yet do any work because you're not yet with a brokerage. So the next fee naturally is which brokerage do you join? Now this can go in 101 different ways. Depending on which brokerage you're interviewing, they might charge you office fees, desk fees, startup fees, admin fees, TC for like the crew, the marketing for the crew. I mean, every team can do anything the way that they want, right? Sometimes I urge you, I beg of you not to join a crew that makes you give them any excess upfront money. Like it costs $2,000 to join us, or it costs $1,500 to join us. I've seen this happen, and I cannot believe that this is even the case where a brokerage will tell an agent, especially a new agent, and say, hey, it actually costs us more money to hold on to new agents, so you have to pay us more. You have to pay us $2,000, $3,000. I've heard of $5,000 of agents joining and paying $5,000 without even knowing if that is the right group for them. They haven't even seen the inside scoop yet. They haven't talked to the other real estate agents. They haven't joined. Like $5,000, even $1,000 is so much. Interview around, please. I'm trying to save you $5,000 right now. But going back to the brokerages, they might charge you office fees, desk fees, printer fees, paper fees, pen fees, blue pen fees, red pen fees. It's all bullshit, I think, because you can make the same amount of money just working at home in your office, and that's it. So a lot of times people will join a brokerage, it's in person, they get the feel good, they talk to the recruiter, they think they're just going to be making a shitload of money as soon as they join the brokerage, and then they get in, and then guess what? They still have to pay for their website, they still have to pay for their, office fees or the signage and business cards, all of that. Sometimes, keep in mind, sometimes brokerages will say, oh, we'll pay for all of that for you. No upfront cost for you. But there's always a catch. There's always a catch. And the catch usually is that's because they're going to take 50% of your commission. So keep that in mind if you're going to be selling homes and you're giving away 50% of your commission every single time. And especially if there is no cap, if you can never even make 100%, that is very, very expensive and it's not worth it, I think. I'm being very blunt here, okay? So the cost of my brokerage is $149 the very, very first month, but that's because it already includes the monthly fee. The monthly fee for EXP is $85 a month. If you book a call with me, we'll talk in further, like super, super in depth about the entire breakdown, but this isn't the episode about EXP. I have all of my other videos are about EXP. This is about how much it is to become an agent and stay as an agent. So $85 a month for EXP, but the first month is an extra, 50, 60 bucks to make it $149 the first month. And that includes your website, because we haven't even spoken about websites yet. Websites are expensive, but EXP pays for your website. That also includes a group phone number. So you know how when people say, hey, text the word Palisade or text the word tree bark. I don't know why that word came to mind. But text the word X to this phone number. As you do that with a group phone number, then any single person that texts that code, the website knows is automatically sent to you. That is labeled your client and no one else's, even if you share that group phone number with other people. That also includes your CRM. This is all included in that $85 a month. And that includes 60 hours of training every single week. And that's what EXP offers. That's not even including what we offer. We offer like even more tactical training every single day of the work week, one-on-one training pods, like accountability pods, group coaching, individual coaching. I mean, we offer everything. We offer the foundation. And you know what? Just a quick tangent on this. I meet probably about 10 to 12 different meetings every single week with agents that are booking a call on my website, on my Calendly, wanting to get my checklist, wanting to get the foundation. And as I'm talking to them about their brokerage and, asking pretty much why their brokerage doesn't offer the foundation, like what me as a stranger is offering them, out of the goodness of my heart, I'm not charging them for that yet. I don't know if I ever will, and in return, they say, oh yeah, my broker is so awesome. He's so cool. We're a family. They always answer the call when I call them and have a question, which is great. But if that is the level at like the max of what you're getting of broker support, you're missing out on so much. If they're not giving you the checklist so you can have the foundation, know exactly, like in your mind and on paper and on your computer, what exactly you need to do with each buyer, step by step, from how to find a buyer, how to find a seller, through the entire transaction, all the way to the end, and follow up so they become a repeat client. If they're not giving you that foundation, then that means that you have to recreate your own wheel. And when that wheel has been created multiple times by other people, and people are giving that to their brokerage, to their agents for free. So as you're interviewing around and you're asking your broker or different team leaders or the recruiters, whoever it is, hey, like what kind of support am I going to be getting from you? Try to think beyond and hear beyond just the fact that, oh, we're a family, or we answer the calls, or we have group calls. That's great. But what kind of checklist are you going to be providing me? Can I see the checklist that you'll be providing me? So that way I can just skyrocket and start getting a lot of clients and be able to work them all. The checklist that I give everyone in my downline, I mean, we have a lot. So buyer checklist, seller checklist, referral checklist, a 200-step onboarding checklist. So that way they are set for success. I have been working on these checklists for 2.5 years. Those checklists are exactly how I was able to do 80 transactions in 2.5 years and make Icon, which is like the highest tier of EXP. But again, this was a total rant. Sorry about that. I just had to say that because it's on the top of my mind and everyone's like, oh my God, I love my broker. They do so much, but they're not giving you the foundation of what you need in order to succeed as a real estate agent. What? And you're happy that they just answer a call? Like that's a bare minimum. Okay, so there's that, right? So also another cost is healthcare. Sometimes if you're leaving to become a real estate agent, chances are you might be leaving a W-2. So you might have to consider healthcare now. You're paying for your own healthcare. You might be paying for your families, or you might go on your spouse's. If your spouse has a W-2, great. A reason why a lot of agents choose EXP is because they have such a steep discount with healthcare. I personally don't have it because I have TRICARE because I was military and my wife is still military, but I heard that it's a really, really good discount. So again, if you want more information, text me. I'm more than happy to look further into it for you regarding your specific family, like help you get a quote for your specific instance. Okay, so far we have covered the cost of getting your license, the cost of associations, the cost of joining a brokerage, although brokerage, I can't really be too specific because the cost can vary so much. The cost of potential healthcare if you're leaving a W-2 and you now have to pay for healthcare on your own. And now let's get to the cost of actually doing business, because once you are, a realtor, you're part of an association, you join a brokerage, excellent. You still can't even open a door. Why? Because that costs even more money, of course. So that's called a Supra. You'll need to have Supra access, and that costs $22 a month-ish. And that's that little blue box that hangs outside of every single door. So that way you use your phone, Bluetooth, boom, boop, you get the key, excellent. You open up the door for your clients, in and out. So that's $22 a month. And this is all under the cost of doing business, like the monthly reoccurring fees. So aside from Supra, if your brokerage does not offer you a CRM, most likely you're gonna want a CRM. Please don't use pen and paper or anything like that, please. You're gonna want a good email. So for example, Gmail, which is free. You're gonna want to get open house signs, directional signs, so that way you can start getting clients. maybe business cards, although I do not like business cards because what do you do with business cards? You throw them away. Nobody holds on to business cards. They might hold on to magnets, so maybe you could do a magnet instead of a business card. Maybe you'd rather do a pen instead of a business card. I think pens are a little bit more useful. And I would suggest using Zoom and Calendly. I do a lot, actually majority of my appointments on Zoom. So that costs about $150 a year, or otherwise it's like about $12, $13 a month. For Zoom and for Calendly, I pay for the annual subscription because there's a steeper discount paying year over year instead of month by month. So I pay about $150 a year for Zoom. I pay about $10 a month for Calendly. So for apples to apples comparison, let's name all these out by month. $25 a month for the Supra. It's kind of a one-time cost for the directional signs, for the open house signs, for your business cards. That's great. Then it's about $10 a month for the Calendly and $12 a month for Zoom. Why I use Calendly is because I detest the back and forth of like, hey, are you free here? Let's talk here. Let's talk then. I'm not then. I have an appointment then. I can't do it. No, waste of time. Hey, whenever is best for you, book a call with my Calendly link below. I'll see you there. And that's it. They book a call whenever it works for them. Obviously, it works for you because it's linked to your Outlook calendar or your Gmail calendar. And you get a text saying, Allie, buyer client in Tucson has booked a call for you on December 5th, 2024, whatever. And you just wake up to booked calls instead of the whole back and forth like, oh, I forgot that I have an appointment. Oh no, I actually have a meeting at that time. I don't know if I'll have it. No. Book a call whenever works for you. Great. I'll see you there. So those are what I think are like the bare minimums just for the cost of doing business. Now, I have a lot of extra costs. Well, not too much extra compared to a lot of other agents. I really try to run a lean business. And as I say, this other section, I do not want to overwhelm you. The point of this is not to say, oh my gosh, you just cost like $1 million to become a real estate agent and you have to have a lot of money. No, I have worked on this slowly but surely. In the very beginning, my first year, I only had those costs of what I have listed so far. Only after a year, I started adding on a little bit more, just to make my life easier. Because whenever I saw a bottleneck, whenever I saw a problem, I would look for a solution to pay for convenience, naturally. So here's a section on extras that I use, but I didn't use in the very beginning. So they're totally just extra. There is BombBomb. That's about $25 a month. What BombBomb is allows me to make videos for people and I can just send them a link. What I like about BombBomb is I can see how many times they opened it, how many times they watched it, and what percentage of the way they watched it. So for example, I'm sending a home review, to a potential seller saying, hey, this is how much I think your home is worth, blah, blah, blah. Here's a little video. I'll see, are they actually interested? Did they actually watch the whole thing? Did they watch it again maybe with their spouse? So I like BombBomb for that reason, but not needed. You can also just make a video on your phone and text it. That works too. You just don't know if they're going to open it. That way you can just have a little bit more follow-up. Number 2, I have to pay for a PDF for like Adobe stuff now. It's annoying. So that's like $15 a month. Number 3, I pay for ChatGPT, the paid version. I think it's worth it, but of course, start little by little. Don't think that just because Allie uses this, that means that I should do all of it right now at one time too. Little by little. Otherwise, you're gonna be paying for so much stuff that you're just not gonna be using. I don't want to overwhelm you. So ChatGPT is about $22 a month. And then I also use ManyChat specifically for Instagram. I hope that maybe one day they incorporate themselves to other social medias, but ManyChat, $15 a month. And I have a couple of virtual assistants. I did not start out with them. I saw the pain points and what I hated doing in my business, and now I pay someone else to do it. So I have the first virtual assistant. She helps me with my real estate related tasks, but non-client facing. So more so database work and also like designs, TeePublic, just a lot of miscellaneous stuff and organization. So organization and database, I pay her $16 an hour. It ends up being around like $400 a month, depending on how many hours she worked. I also have another virtual assistant that is helping me with social media. So I post on Instagram and he takes that one post on Instagram, the captions, the titles, the hashtags, whatever, and posts it on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, X, Threads, all the other stuff that I'm not even really on. So he posts that for like $1 per post, so about $6 a day. And we're doing it for 15 days out of the month now. So that's $125 a month. He's out in the Philippines, and yes, it sounds very cheap for $1 per post per platform, but I'm paying for his college. And every day he's like, Allie, I'm so grateful for you. Because I'm pretty sure he knows that there are AI resources where I could be using AI and just paying $20 a month for that instead. Repurpose.io is the website. But anyway, that's $125 a month there. Then I do not edit. I do not want to learn how to edit videos, like long form videos. For example, this video that you're watching right now is edited by vidchops.com. So if you like them, let me know. I have an affiliate code because I like them too. And they have a really good fast turnaround time. So that is $1,000 a month. And that's between my two different channels, my Living in Tucson channel, my Allie the Agent channel of why I joined EXP, and how I think that's an absolute no-brainer for all agents. You just make the most amount with EXP. So again, that's $1,000 a month. Then I have podcast editors because I also have a podcast that I host, theagentgoldmine.com. Check it out. And that one costs $500 a month. And the purpose of that is to tell more agents about our crew. I have not seen any other crew that offers as much as we do with no team split. We're not a formal team. Brand yourself however you want. Take your team and continue branding yourself however you want. Like, we don't care. Here, have all of our resources, and we don't take a penny from your paycheck. So I don't know. It's a no-brainer. I haven't seen any other team do this. So we're trying to spread the word. So that's $500 a month for the Agent Goldmine virtual assistant. I also pay for Superhuman, which is an email application, which you can tie into either your Gmail or your Outlook. And it's a way to just use like keyboard commands and super fast go through your emails. Send emails, reply to emails, reply all, get your canned emails. So any templates that you have in a literally in a matter of 2 clicks, you can get that template up. All you have to do is just type in who the sender is, who it's going to, and then boof, send, boof, send. I mean, it has saved me so much time. I really took a long time before I hopped into Superhuman, and I wish that I got started earlier, but hey, I can't think that way. Okay, so that's about $30 a month. Then I also use Client Giant. Now it depends on how many clients I have in there, but pretty much it's a really easy way to gift clients. I am so bad about gifting. I am the worst at gifts. I mean, very, 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 very bad. So Client Giant just lets me not think about gifts. Not that I ever really thought about gifts, but at least now my clients are getting gifts. So, God, that sounds so bad. But it's a way to automate that process. So depending on what level or like what tier you put each of your clients on, roughly it's $100 per person per year, and they get 4 gifts a year. So once a quarter, you're giving them a gift. So it's essentially like you're paying $25 per gift. The gifts that they are given, I think, are worth more than that $25. So I like it. Really good customer service. Seems to be, more than what I would do, of course. So thumbs up there. And then I also have TubeBuddy, the legend one, which is like the highest tier because again, I have 2 YouTube channels. So you have to pay the highest tier for each YouTube channel, which kind of sucks instead of just one. Anyway, that's $470, which equates to $80 a month for both of my YouTube channels. So altogether, monthly expenses are about $2,300 a month. Now again, that's because I'm paying a lot to have such a big digital presence. You don't have to do that. You don't have to start out with that. If you are okay with editing, if you already know it and don't have to take the time to learn editing, then just do it yourself. Or if you prefer farming instead, like postcards, do that. If you prefer open houses, door knocking, do those. Those are definitely cheaper options. So what I'm saying is this is how much it costs me to even acquire clients now. And plus I like it, like otherwise I wouldn't do it. My first year, I didn't have a YouTube channel. I didn't pay for a virtual assistant for my organization and my database. I did it myself. I was the one knocking on doors. I was the one doing, going through all these like in-person briefings, teaching people about the VA loan, the benefits, and just getting clients sweat equity. But over time, I started adding, again, like I said before, there was a problem here, or this was going too slow. How do I fix it? Let me throw money into it to make it more convenient and faster and easier for me. So that way I was able to just get that time back and use that time to acquire more clients or to just kick my feet up and relax for once. So those are the extra costs of what it costs me every single month just to maintain my business. Now, of course, my business runs off of referrals. I stepped out of production pretty much my first year out in the business. So I did clients my first year in the business. I stepped out of production because I had so many clients. And now my average referral check, since that's how I make money now, is my average outbound referral check is $2,500. So I only really need one referral check to have my business just stay afloat. Anything else after that is cake, is extra. Now, guess what I have not spoken about yet? In case you haven't put the pieces together yet, that's just the cost of becoming an agent, finding a brokerage, joining a crew, and then what? Like here's little bits and pieces of how much I use to start to acquire clients, but I have not touched on the holding costs. Up until you even find a client, how much are your personal living expenses? I went over my business expenses, but how much does it cost you to just to survive? Like food, rent, mortgage, groceries, fun, TV, Hulu, Roku, YouTube TV, all that stuff, kids, dogs, daycare, whatever. How much does it cost you to just survive? You need to have a financial runway far enough to where, as you're leaving your W 2 to become a full time real estate agent or even a part time real estate agent, you have to have enough money in your bank account to where you're able to sustain yourself for at least, I say, 9 months. So, this is where I'm going to tell you, give you a little bit of homework here, right? Go on your last credit card statements, all of them. Download all of them for the last 12 months. Get the average. That's how much it takes you to survive. Now also include your mortgage or include your rent, include your car, include, gas, include all of just your living expenses. You need to know how much it takes you as a person, as an individual, or if you have a family, it takes how much it takes your entire family just to survive. If it costs you and your family $6,000 a month just to survive, like let alone your business expenses, I personally, again, I'm more conservative. I would suggest having 9 to 12 months of that in savings, just in case you get into the business and you don't have a closing until 9 months later. So if we're going 9 months, that's $54,000. Now you don't need that. You could live life more on the edge. I'm not your CPA. Do not blame me for anything. This is YouTube. Okay, this is YouTube. So if you wanted to be more aggressive or risque, or if it is just you and you're just like, hey, I could sleep on the floor if it came to it, that's the best attitude, I think. So maybe you just need $30,000 in the bank to hold you over until you get that first client, until you get that first check, which is different from getting the first client. Typically, it'll take about 3 months-ish, of course, but every situation is different. It's all about how fast, how hard, and how smart you work. And we have trainings on how to work smart instead of working hard. Do not work hard. You can work smart and get just as far in this business. If you want access to those trainings, we do open them up to the public. Send me a message, shoot me a text. I'm here for it, or comment below. I am happy to share those trainings with you if you're serious, especially if you're serious about joining our crew. I want to really pour into you now so that way you're already set up for success before you even join us. So book a call with me if that's what interests you. And other than that, hope this video helped. See you on the next one.